What's one thing your dad said to you that you'll never forget? I love, revere, and respect my dad. He is beloved by pretty much everyone in his family. My mom's family and people in general. A few years ago, he said to me, "You're a good man with a good heart. You're better than me." I was playing with some toys and my older brother was in the same room. My dad walks in and tells us to put our shoes on. We're going to see our brother. I was like, my brother is right here. We drove to the county jail to see our older brother who we never met before. I was an angsty teen, said some disrespectful shit to my mom. "You're too big to spank. So if you ever talk to my wife like that again, I'll handle you like I'll handle any other man who would do the same." He was calm AF when he said it too. Scared me shitless. I had it coming though. If you can't sleep, just lying still in the dark is 50% of the rest you get from sleeping. I know he made that shit up, but for a kid with insomnia and anxiety, that made all the difference in the world. Told me something about needing to drink your coffee black if you're a man. Almost 20 years later, I still do that and actually do just prefer it at this point. I go to Starbucks with my dad the other day and he puts creamer in his coffee. God damn it, Dad! Dad was a self-employed home improvement contractor. Best carpenter you ever saw. I was always more mechanically inclined, but I learned my way around the tools of his trade by sheer exposure, osmosis if you will. Turns out I'm a bit of a perfectionist too. One time, while working with Dad on an addition to my first house after watching me measure twice, then cut twice and obsess over the fit of every stud, Dad proclaimed it's a good thing. "You didn't follow me into the trade because you'd freaking starve." He was right. "Miss you, Pop. Eat your carrots, they're good for your eyes. That's why rabbits don't wear glasses. Go ahead and call the cops. If I'm going to jail, I'm going for a reason. I'll end you in the 5 minutes it takes them to get here." Unfortunately, I believed him and I never called. When I came out to my dad at 21, he said, "I don't care who you love, just be happy." I am 29 and I don't think I'd have the confidence or charisma without it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, will ever have your back like I do. Believe it. It was true and I miss him every day. We am in England when I was 14 learning how to drive because I guess I drifted too far to the left. We had a 2003 GMC Seria, 2,500 and it was a big truck and I was nervous. 7-year-old. "Dad, can you make me a sandwich?" "Dad, make your own sandwich." Dad leaves and never returns. 20 years later, Dad calls son. "I miss you, can we catch up?" "Son, no, I don't even know you. You could have at least made me a sandwich." True story from my flatmate. You can tell a lot about a person by how they react to walking into a surprise spider web. I'm glad we're getting ripped off. A day's wages to me is this guy's monthly income. My dad said this buying overpriced fruit while traveling. He makes me proud to be his kid. Whenever we travel somewhere where we're clearly rich foreigners, recent examples have been the Caribbean and Namibia, he deliberately plays the role of the bumbling tourist who just doesn't know how much things should cost. He does know. He's just excited to give people money when it means so much more to them than it does to him. Son, there are two things in life. Things you need and things you want. You need a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and someone else to go through life with. Everything else is a want. Work for the things you want, but live for the things you need. Once when I was a small child, I was crying about something. Not sure what. But my dad told me that every tear I cried was one day off of my life, and that I better not cry if I want to live longer. This shocked my little kid self into silence. He was likely just frustrated and wanted me to stop crying right then. But that tidbit stuck with me, and I had to unlearn it as an adult because crying is good. I've since learned that there are stress hormones found in human tears, so we're literally releasing stress from our bodies when we cry. It's an evolutionary advantage to cry, that's why we generally feel better after crying. Stares at me for a long time and says, "God, you would have been an ugly girl." I was 16 at the time, and we laughed about it for the next 30 years. One night, we were all downstairs in the rec room watching a movie. Mom went upstairs first to bed. My father turned to us kids, and with joy on his face, he simply stated, "I'm going upstairs to frick your mom. I'll always choose your mom over you," as if I was a romantic interest and not a child who needed protection. During family Thanksgiving, his new girlfriend's son walks into the dining room and Dad says, "Everyone meet Scott, the son I never had. I'm his son and have been through absolutely everything with him as his sidekick." I'm never forget it.